Are you feeling semi-empty inside? This is a musical toast to the Gibson Memphis ES-335. Cheers. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Gibson Memphis ES-335 Studio. Now, if you're like me, I'm not like a Gibson purist or anything. I've had a Les Paul Studio and I actually really loved that guitar, but if you're like me, the word studio kind of steers you away from wanting to buy it, right? So I had never really considered purchasing one of these until this came up for sale on Facebook Marketplace near me for a pretty great price. So I decided to go check it out, and I never thought I was going to be a semi-hollow guy, but after just a few seconds of playing it, I was like, okay, I can see why people like the ES-335 so much. It's such a good guitar, and I was trying to record a little intro segment for you guys, and I had the mic set up so I could have a nice little tune for you at the beginning, but I suck really bad at recording. Ask my bandmates. Vocals, fine. Recording guitar, it takes a long time. So, I gave up. Like you do, you give up. What's kind of unique to this guitar is it's about the cheapest way you can get into an ES-335. One that says Gibson on the headstock. Anyway, like I said, I didn't know that was something I was really going to want as bad as I did. But this thing is really, really cool. The finish is ginger burst, and it's absolutely beautiful. And this thing is in remarkable condition. The guy I bought it from was a guitar teacher and selling it for one of his students. There is a small little blemish right here that I know you guys can't see from there, but it appears that the neck is separated from the body just a little bit, or just moved enough to crack the lacquer. It's not separated, it's still seated fine. But I don't think it was any sort of reckless setup or luthier mistake or anything like that. In fact, the other ginger burst 335s from this vintage that I've seen have had very similar issues right in the same spot. So we can chalk that up to Gibson quality control issues and production issues. I know that's a sore subject for a lot of Gibson fans. I am a big Gibson fan, but I can acknowledge the problems that have happened. This thing is from 2016. I believe the Memphis ES-335 Studio ran from 15 to 18. And right now on Reverb you can get these things for about $15 to $1,600. That's substantially cheaper than your standard ES-335 or a custom shop. Obviously you can go the Epiphone route too if you wanted, but if you want a true Gibson on the headstock ES-335, again, I'm not saying anything bad about having an Epiphone. I've played a lot of Epiphones that are great guitars. I just, if you want to have Gibson on the headstock, this is about the cheapest option that you can go with. This guitar has been slightly modified. I did buy it technically from the original owner. It has a set of Grover locking tuners, which in my opinion is an upgrade that's worth doing to pretty much any guitar. That being said, if you're familiar with Gibson and their tuning issues, that's not necessarily going to solve them. Nut work is what is primarily going to take care of it. Now, I have some other close-ups. Hopefully I'm smart enough in editing to be putting them overlay through the video, but I know one thing that comes to my mind when thinking a Gibson guitar that has studio at the end of the name is no binding. And for some reason, the binding just really finishes a guitar for me. That's why when I had a Les Paul Studio, it was a 2019, in Tangerine Burst, so it had the neck binding. They only did that on studios for 1 year, and apparently it was fairly common for the binding to come off of those. Mine actually started separating from the neck just a little bit. However, the ES-335 Studio is a complete exception. If you're familiar with the ES-335, you know that it has body binding on both sides. While it may not look like it from here or even in any of the video footage, I promise you this guitar does have that. It just happens to be black, while we have the ginger burst like really dark cocoa brown color. I don't know how well that's going to come through on the camera either, but the outer color of the burst is not black. It's brown, very dark brown. So looking at it in person, you can see the black binding fairly obviously, and one way I can convince you that there is binding on this guitar is a close-up that I got of the frets, because luthiers, be warned, if you're going to refret one of these guitars, it does indeed have the Gibson binding fret nibs. Sorry about that, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. They do look really good, and this guitar just feels so nice to play. Very thin neck profile for a Gibson. It's almost like playing my Telecaster that I used to have. I know that's sacrilege in its own right. Someone's going to come after me for that. Comparing a Gibson and a Fender. How dare I? But let me get you guys some tone demos. I'm sure you're sick of hearing me talk. We're running through an orange Micro Terror MT20, a Blackstar 212 cabinet, Polytune, JHS double barrel, Boss DD7 digital delay, and that's all we got. Here's No Effects, the neck pickup. Go to the middle position. It does have a very different tone than an SG or a Les Paul, and it's I mean, this should be fairly obvious, I guess, with it being a semi-hollow body guitar, but it sounds really, really good. I like the tone on that bridge pickup a lot, and I don't use bridge pickups a whole lot. I'm usually more in the middle position or the neck, just for what I play and what we're recording, but yeah, I like it a lot. So that's the clean tones. Really good sounding guitars. Let's break it up a little bit. I'm going to throw distortion on with the JHS double barrel. That is the JHS 808 and JHS Morning Glory stacked together. We're just going to go for all of the overdrive. Starting again on the neck pickup, then we'll go to the middle position, then the bridge. It sounds so good. I love this guitar. Throw a little delay on it. Just change it up a little bit. and gentlemen, that's the Gibson Memphis ES-335 Studio. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.